What's going on, people? This is Byron Scott, man, back with my guy Cordero. And we're gonna put on the show for y'all today, man. Gonna be live calls with sellers, man. Cordero, the cold calling king, man. That might be a good name right there, dude. Cordero, the cold calling king. Ooh.
Maybe hitters out there for me to go ahead and take the title, but I've been watching. Hey, I'm watching the closer Olympics. I'm like, hold on, I could do some. I could get on that show.
Dude, you takes people out of that cold
I
caller.
could take some. I could take some folks out on that thing. I'm like,
Dude, you can take people out for sure. Hold on, Cordero, the cold calling killer. How about that? Ooh, Cordero, the cold calling closer.
that's a good one. Cordero the closer.
Yeah,
Cordero
Cordero, the closer, baby. Cordero, the closer.
might rock with something like that. Something to
Yeah,
that effect, man. Because
yeah.
today, yes, we do cold caller, but today I'll probably, want to do some follow up calls to show you guys what it's like talking with sellers that I've kind of gotten a little bit further along in the process. So I hit some of those folks up.
Yeah, for sure, man. Cordero, I've been doing this thing for a little while, man. Seeing a lot of people, but man, Cordero took he took some stuff from me, but man, he took that and ran way far with it.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, let's get to it, man. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's get some of these comments though. Shout out to Ali. Ali, man,
Ali.
always coming through for sure, man. And John Doe coming through. Appreciate y'all coming through, man.
That's his real name. Is that really his name? John Doe?
Man, probably not. But dude, the live yesterday was crazy, man. You ain't get a chance to watch that whole thing, man. When it get to about an hour, dude, that thing get real wild, man. I mean, we start
That's
going
all of
in
it.
for
I mean,
sure.
from start to finish, we giving you non-stop real game. They got to the point where it switched from tactical tips to mindset. And I think we were just talking real on that thing, man. Watch it. Watch it.
Real.
Watch it again. Watch it
Yeah,
again.
dude. I was watching that mug this morning. I'm like, shoot. I'm sitting there listening to myself, like, man, God, dog, about to get me right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So let's jump into these calls, though, man. Let's do it.
All right, man. I was gonna say share my screen. I'm following up with some folks in my podio. Just needed to be called. We're gonna call until we hit somebody.
Call until we hit. Hey, that's what it's all about, man.
Call
Calling until you hit. You gotta call until you hit, man.
calling this lady who was a divorcee. And she probably won't answer, but we're gonna see. Um, she was
Automated voice messaging system.
she wanted a voicemail. But what we're realizing is we're finding a lot of these divorced folks. Malcolm,
Oh
interesting.
yeah, for sure, man. Dude, these people getting these divorces, and the house got to go, dude. Like the house got to go. Dude, they get these divorces, the house gotta go, man. It's crazy, but yeah, divorces is up there at the top, man. As far as getting deals, putting stuff under contract. So
Yeah, man. If you can like people like what's the key list? It's like again, we don't necessarily target lists in that fashion where it's just like
if
that.
we hit,
Yeah. When we hit, we notice like you're gonna notice these patterns, and it's just like so many divorced couples. It's like every time we actually close on a deal, it's like, oh, okay. Okay,
somebody
let me
got divorced, even when we don't even realize that they got a divorce, like, oh shoot, man, this person got a divorce.
let me start calling this extremely difficult seller. You all see 437 5813.
Yeah, man. Y'all just notice when Cordero was talking to this person, he takes his time, man. You know what I'm saying? He takes time. He go at his own speed. When they try to speed him up, he just reel them back in. Like, hold on, hold on. Hey, he reel them back in when they going too fast. And that's what I like, man. You know, he makes sure he control that conversation for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is a big point. Is it, and you want to make sure you're staying in control of these conversations. And a key way to do that is with your tempo. Um, you start off by mirroring theirs and then bring them into your world with it. Let's see. This is a notorious, I've called her a couple times, difficult lady.
Your call has been forwarded to a.
Yeah, notoriously difficult seller. But you want to start off with mirroring their tonality. That's stuff that you do at the top of the call, at the beginning of the call. And then once you catch the pace, they'll start to mirror you. It's just like you guys, what you do when you mirror their tonality, you meet in a middle ground, and then it gets neutral where and then you start to control it. Then they follow you. That's just one of the way. That's with tonality now.
It seems like when you meet them at their pace, and then to change the pace, you end up asking them a question. It seems like
that's
that
exactly what I was about to say.
you always be like, well, let me ask you this. And that's when you start really taking the reins, man. It's crazy, man. So
That is exactly what I was about to say. One way is tonality, but then the other way, and this is the most important way, I think, is when you start asking questions. The person asking questions is the person in charge, right? Just like in an interview, in a job interview, who's asking the questions? The one that's going to be hiring you, paying all the money, the interviewer, not the interviewee. You can ask questions, just like when you're on the call. A seller can ask questions, and they're probably going to. But this is what you do: they ask you a question, you acknowledge it, you answer it, and then you ask them another question immediately. Don't get off into that game where you answer that question and then be silent because they just gonna keep firing them off at you.
boom, 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 boom.
At that point, you getting that Eugene. I think
You getting that Mike Tyson treatment. What you get?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You better get that Mike Tyson treatment, man. Mike Tyson treatment, that's when you put your property on the MLS, you getting that price cut. But when you're on the call and they asking, that's that Bud Crawford treatment. That's that Bud Crawford treatment. When you're on a call and your face is all cut up and so you know what I mean. It's like you don't want that Bud Crawford across your head. So if they ask you a question, answer their question, acknowledge it, and then ask them a question back. It keeps you in control. The person who's asking the question is in control, right? And so that's a very powerful way to make sure you're staying in control of the call. And it's not like when you're on a call, because you're asking questions, you don't want to like dictate anything. Hold on, let's see if this person.
Oh,
Hey, sorry, I don't know if I have the right number. I was calling to speak to Timothy.
this is him. I'm ask for speaking.
Yeah, Timothy, this is I don't know if you remember, man. My name's Cordero. We spoke several times, but I called you about a month ago. And I think you were in Georgia training in Georgia, and I was calling you about the property on Delaware. And I just wanted to follow up and see where you're at with the property at this time.
Oh man, so it's been a wild ride since I've been back. I'll be honest with you.
Oh goodness. What's going on?
Really, well, right now we're repairing some damage.
Uh-huh.
The oven took a shit and it caused some smoke damage. So.
Oh, anything major with that? Like, did it cause like fire damage, or you said just smoke?
Just smoke damage. So we got to repaint all the walls and all that.
Oh.
And we're redoing the insulation and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, man. I know everything. Like, it seems like the whole world's going crazy now. If it ain't one thing, it's another. With problems nowadays. But I know you're working on that property. Are you thinking about selling it?
one thing about selling it, what the problem is because if we sell it, that means we got to buy somewhere else. When we buy somewhere else, the interest rates are so high on buying houses.
Yeah.
We're not. It's like,
yeah.
I know that a lot of people aren't selling because of that.
Right. No, that's definitely true. I think a lot of people we're talking to are kind of running into that situation where if they sell now, then they got to trade out their, 4% or below interest rate for like closer to 10%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, that's always that's never good. But, if there was any, I guess, any reason to sell, or any reason that a person would want to sell, I think, with us, we can definitely offer some value in being able to close quickly and buying as is and things like that. So I know you're working on the property. So you're thinking pretty much staying where you're at, or is anything coming up where you would be like, I could sell and
we don't even know where we want to stay.
Got
to be honest with you.
Gotcha. No, absolutely. I understand. And what I was going to say, Timothy, is with our team, we work with the network of investors. And what this allows us to do, we could, because we work with a network of different investors and we're not just one investor, it gives us the range to be a lot more flexible with things like cash offer. We can buy as is, any condition. We wouldn't mind buying it in as is condition. If there were smoke damage, if there was fire damage, we wouldn't mind purchasing. We can close relatively quickly, or if you needed longer time, we could do that. But I say all that just to let you know that that's what we can do. However, I understand where you're at. And if you're not really looking to sell at this time, I just want to let you know that, man, you can reach out to me anytime. But when you are ready to sell, we can get you over an offer pretty quickly. You know what I mean? But I know if you're, you know what I'm saying, if you're not interested in selling now, I completely understand. But do you think maybe sometime in the near future, are you guys just pretty much set where you're at?
Well, we're kind of taking it like 6 months. We're always looking for a place to stay, but like if the right thing opens up, it's definitely like, and we're not going to move and just, so it's like, hey, what's our opportunity? Where can I get a job here? Where can she get a job here?
Right, stuff that's like big.
That. So it's not as easy as just, oh, I want to sell. No, it's more like, hey, this is where we want to live, and this is where I got to find a job.
Yeah, you got to set your life up. Yeah.
Like we talk about it all the time. We just don't know where we want to live, really.
Gotcha. What about Florida on the beach?
Oh, that's too far south, and there's too many hurricanes.
hey, that you're the first person I've talked to that says that, because I'm always like, yeah, Florida's just paradise, but there are too many hurricanes. You're absolutely right.
Have you ever driven through Jackson on the highways?
Yes. You know what? Okay, man, I might need to talk to you a little bit more often, because you're right about that. When I go to Florida, oh man, traffic is not good. What about?
Well, I mean, also once you're near a beach all the time,
yeah.
You go like once or twice a year, it's not even worth it at that point.
Yeah, I call it the trampoline effect. When we were kids, if our neighbors had a trampoline, we would love to go play on it. But as soon as my mom got us our own trampoline, we never touched it. It happens that way. But yeah, no, man, I completely understand that. So you're thinking maybe I should circle back with you in a couple months just to see why, because I understand you do have to, you can't just be like, I'm going to move, especially now that it costs money to move and the interest rates are high. People aren't just moving for the fun of it anymore. It's got to make sense. You guys got to like have the whole move. What is it? You, your wife and kids?
Yeah. Well, it won't cost me anything to move because the Army will move me, but
gotcha.
That's not a factor for it. It's really just the interest rate and how we're gonna have to live with what we got going on.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do is, if it's okay with you, Timothy, I'll circle back with you in just a couple months just to see where you're at. Because like I said, our investors, we're always looking to buy all over Montgomery. Well, we're in Tennessee, Georgia, and Texas. So if you had any property or knew anyone who wants to sell in those areas, let me know. But we're always looking to buy.
So do you guys? So I have a question. Do you guys do like, hey, so say you guys had a house I wanted, right? And I'm like, look, I don't want this house. I want the house you have. But I will give you. We'll trade the value of what would you give me for this house?
Right.
Why? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
They do that.
No, definitely. I mean, we've got some properties on the market. Let's say you wanted to go to. Let's just say, for example, if you wanted to go to Georgia, we've got a couple properties on the market in Georgia right now that we're trying to sell, and it seems like, sometimes we sell just as much as we buy. It's kind of a part of what we do. So we get asked that question a lot, and if it works out that way, then we kind of kill two birds in one stone for the both of us. You know what I mean? Just like you sell your place, we and you get your next place, and then we sell one, we buy one and sell one all in one fell swoop. So definitely.
I was thinking like a car dealership, like this is trade-in value.
Oh, hey man, we might need to look into like an official program that way. But no, absolutely, man. But I do have to get to my next call here. And a couple follow-ups, but I really do appreciate your time, Timothy. And like I said, I'll give you a call in a couple months just to see where you're at. But if anything comes up, again, my name is Cordero. Please feel free to reach out, text me, call me anytime. This is my direct line.
All right, man.
Okay. Thank you so much, Timothy. You have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Okay, bye.
So, hey, no one joking ain't interested in selling and move on. So you gotta know.
Man. I was just trying to feel him out just to see where he was at. Actually, I don't know if y'all noticed this in the beginning of the call. I was about to kind of go into like selling him on our services and what we do, but I was like, hold on. Again, you don't want to dictate anything. You want to stay away from just, hey, we can do this and we can do this and we can do this. You want to ask him what he needs. Let him tell you what his problems are or what his circumstances are, and then you position whatever you got as the solution. And that's such a major thing. I learned it back when I was actually working at Verizon. And it was just like, what they would always tell us to do is stay away from, you don't want to get into that situation where a customer comes in for an upgrade and you're like, hey, do you also want to add a tablet? And they're like, no, thank you. And then he's like, hey, do you also want to add another cell phone line? They're like, no, thank you. What about this? And what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And then you go down a laundry list of no, and they've already gotten so used to saying no, thank you. When you run into something that they actually need, you really just seem like you're trying to sell them something and not like you really care about providing them value. But, and I'm going to show you the contrast to that. The contrast to that is when they walk in with an upgrade and they got their kid with them and their kid is running around screaming and she's trying to make sure the kid is okay, but the kid is all up, and you're like, hey, you could add a tablet to your line for just $10 extra a month, and you could get them in this situation right here while you're going out handling your business, handling the tablet, and they'd be good. That makes more sense than just pitching them, just throwing stuff to the wall to see if it sticks. Hello?
Yeah. Well,
no, actually, I have not. I've reached out to him from different phone numbers as well. I think something might just be going on. And I tried to call the father. I don't know if maybe he's at work or something like that. That's why I was saying we probably need a little bit more of a notice than that.
oh, shoot.
But I'll continue to try to reach out to him, and I'll let you know. I don't know if we'll be able to get it done today, but okay, yeah. And I'll give him a call. I'll let you know as soon as I get a hold of him. Thank you.
Oh, don't tell me the son ain't picking up now.
He's not, but he's not a problem. I mean, we do need to get it in the property, but also the father is not.
Somebody out there today?
Huh?
Did she send somebody out there today?
No, we were trying to send somebody out there today, but she let me know like late at night. And so when I reached out to him, I don't know.
Okay. I was going to say, better make sure that he's going to be there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll keep trying to reach him. But that's another key point. And I was going to say, hey, we can do cash offers as is, trying to bait some sort of motivation out of them. But I was like, no, let's go to the next person.
Yeah.
And I love that little tip. What you said?
Got to know when to move on.
Yeah, that tip where it was like, I gotta get to my next call. I saw that on the Closer Olympics. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna start using that. Word like a charm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street, what's up, man?
Wall Street.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Wall
No
Street.
doubt.
Let's call another person, man. Already
What's up, Anita? What's going on? Norman Fisher say he loving the new name, man. Against all odds. Against all odds, man, for sure. Jamie Buck said, man, I gotta get like Cordero on the phone, no doubt, man. A beast.
I need to close something. I want to
Smooth
close
on the phone, smooth with it, man. Do y'all use Lunch Control for texting? I still do use Lunch Control a little bit for texting, but we're trying to get to use the smart contact, man. But you know, we're gonna see how that go, and we're gonna try some Facebook stuff. We're gonna let y'all see, maybe Facebook, maybe something else. We're gonna try some inbound leads and let y'all see how that go. But yeah, man, let's get to another call, man. Who we calling up next?
We calling somebody that apparently they called me a while back. I don't know if they sold their property yet, but we got to see 7. And this person actually has like a nicer house, a nicer property, but that doesn't mean anything. Because again, I've wholesaled nicer properties. It doesn't have to be a nice property for it to be a good deal. I mean, a distressed property for it to be a good deal.
Thank you for calling.
Let me call this guy.
See, she didn't want to answer the phone.
Here we go. Finna call somebody.
You got, oh, now about to see.
Nah, somebody I already know.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 6, 7.
Nah, he didn't pick up his phone, man. Let's see what else we got in here. Somebody wanted to sell for $310 in Fort Worth, but their property is on the market.
What was it on the market for?
$300.
Wow.
Crazy, dude. It's like, man, why you put your house on the market? You talking about you need to sell ASAP?
Hey, sorry, I don't know if I have the right number. I always call and speak to Brett. Hey, Brett, this is Cordero. I'm not sure if you remember. We spoke. This was a few months back, actually. I think at the top of this year, in regards to your property on Maggie Lane. Not sure if you sold that property already, but I did want to give you a quick follow up just to see where you were at and if you're still looking to sell.
Oh, I'm looking to sell. I'm asking $320,000 for it.
Okay. Well, yeah, man. Can I, is now a good time? I do want to ask you a couple questions about it and see if we can get you what you're looking for. Does that work for you?
Oh, you can go ahead and ask questions.
Okay. Well, let me know, man. Tell me a little bit about it. Get me caught up. What has you in the market to sell at this time?
I'm just retired and I'm selling off my rental properties.
Okay. Well, congratulations on retirement. That's definitely a big step. How long have you been retired?
about a year.
Oh man, so it's fresh. Have you gone to any beaches? Any beaches yet?
Oh, I've always traveled. I've been in the military, so been everywhere.
Well, thank you for your service first, but I just asked because the air. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I've got a while before I retire, but I heard that the air tastes different after you've retired. It's just a totally different vibe.
Yeah, if you can keep the family members away from you, who all want you to help them move.
Oh man,
drive them everywhere.
Okay, they think that your retirement means an extra set of hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, and so with this property, you mentioned you were selling off your rental properties. Do you own quite a few in Clarksville? Excuse me, not Clarksville, but in Panama.
I just have one in Panama.
Gotcha. Clarksville is a military town. Have you ever been to Clarksville? Do you own any property there?
I don't own any in Clarksville, no.
Okay, gotcha. Well, with this one, man, I would definitely love to see, I guess, where you're at. Could you tell me a little bit about the condition of the property, and what's going on with it at this time?
Oh, well, 2019, it got damaged by a hurricane, so I rebuilt the whole thing and basically everything new.
Okay.
Hurricane windows, hurricane roof, fenced in backyard. I bought that property foreclosed, and when I did, I bought that property in half of another lot, split that lot with my neighbor, so we have the two biggest lots in the neighborhood.
Okay.
It's 2 stories. It's just a nice little property.
Okay. And so you did, like you said, everything all new from after that. And so, I mean, structurally, I'm sure everything is sound, like foundation. There's no foundation issues.
It's solid.
Gotcha. The roof, and you did you redo the roof or anything around that time?
We just put new shingles on it.
Okay. Okay. And what about the HVAC? And then outside of that, cosmetically, is there anything that you would think needs to be done on it?
No, there's nothing that needs to be done on the house. It's in great condition. The HVAC is, 4 years old. The HVAC's about 4 years old.
Okay. No, man, I kind of assumed. I mean, obviously that's a great area. I like that part of town, the neighborhood it's in, and things like that. Let me ask you this, man. I know you own. You said you're kind of, I guess, liquidating some properties. Is this? Are you the only decision maker on this? Is there anyone else involved in, whether or not you sell and how much you need to sell for and things like that?
No, it's just me.
Okay. Gotcha. And let me ask you this, man. If I can, obviously I will have to get this anything approved by my underwriters, but if we can get you what you're looking for and everything makes sense to you, and we get you over a purchase agreement, is there any reason why we couldn't get the process started?
No, yeah. Whenever someone's interested and they're able to, pay the required price, and we're good to go. I've had it on the market for about a year.
Gotcha. It's on the market right now?
It's on the market as the word is out there. Like, I don't have
okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I've had, lots of people look at it. They're trying to come in low, which I have it. I mean, it's depending on the market time frame, it's still 30,000 under market. I'm actually pulling the numbers right now just to make sure things haven't changed over there.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, absolutely. And has it does it currently have tenants? Is it occupied at this time?
Yeah, I have the tenant in it. She's pretty awesome.
Okay. Gotcha.
But she's not under contract, so
she's like on a month to month?
A month right now.
Okay.
She's been in there for about 2 years, 3 years maybe.
Gotcha. What's her? So I mean, she's on a month to month. It's not really serious. I mean, do you think she would want to stay? Is that something she'd be interested in if we could purchase it and she can stay, or she'd be, we wouldn't have too much of a fight out of her?
Oh no, she would stay. She loves the place.
Okay. Gotcha. So she's on a month to month. And is it in Cherokee Heights or is it in Cedar Branch?
That is Cherokee Heights.
Okay.
Subdivision.
Okay, gotcha. I was just trying to check. I mean, and also too, I mean, this looks like I'm sure this is a great rental property. And if she's on a month to month, then I'm sure maybe her rent's a little bit, she's probably paying decent rent. I'm sure you're making some money off this. I mean, would you rather just keep it? Maybe it's some retirement income and things like that. Is that something you think about?
No, it's just at a point I just don't want to go manage them anymore and take care of them and go, do the maintenance and stuff. That's what.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So you don't have a property management. You're doing all this yourself?
Oh, yeah. It's easy. I always buy homes that are fairly new, and that way it's low maintenance. But I've had this property since 2011.
Gotcha. Okay. Absolutely. And if we could get you what you're looking for, ideally, perfect case scenario, all the circumstances, the price and the terms work out for you. When would you want to close on the property? Because like I said, we're pretty flexible. When would you want to close?
Whenever. I have no time frame.
Okay. I do, if I get this over to my underwriting team, and we at least can get some sort of official offer over to you. We'd like to send it to you. Just something official, so that way you can kind of get a feel, or at least what our purchase agreement looks like and things like that, should we be able to get to that point. But they're going to want to put a purchase agreement, a date, a closing date in the purchase agreement, just because it needs something in there, and we usually let the seller pick. So if you had to just put a date in there, again, assuming everything else lines up and works for you, what date would you probably say? I mean, I would imagine we want to give the tenant some time, some sort of notice. Whether is it 30 days or 60 days?
Let's say November 30th.
Okay. November 30th. Okay. And had you considered listing this property on the MLS? Like, I know you said it's, kind of on the open market. You've been probably like letting people in your network know, but had you considered just like, cleaning it up, getting the tenant out and just putting it on the market?
No, because I basically been waiting for someone who wants to buy a house with a tenant in it as an investment property.
Gotcha.
And because, it's still making me money. So it's no reason to pull it off take the tenant out and put it on the market and let it sit there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And a little bit about us, I don't know if I mentioned it, but we're a network of investors, or we're a service provider to our network of investors. And what this allows us to do is, because we're not just one investor with one buying criteria that need, one scope, and everything has to fit within that scope. We have, we could be really flexible with things like, we can be flexible with our closing timeline. If you said 10 months or you said 10 days, we can make that happen. We can do competitive cash offers, but we always pay all cash, no financing contingencies, and we buy as is condition. And oftentimes some of our investors are definitely interested. And that's why I asked about your tenant, because some of our investors are definitely interested in purchasing with the tenant attached. I mean, if it's a good tenant in place and we can get the price, if the price makes sense for us, it makes sense for you, then we wouldn't have a problem with that. We wouldn't mind if depending on which one of our investors is interested. But ultimately, I did want to know, is there, you wanted to sell this property because you're retired. Well, are there any HOAs on the property? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ask Forgot to ask that question.
There's no HOAs.
Okay, no. Yeah, gotcha. But ultimately, you wanted to sell this property to kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you wanted to sell this because you're retired and it's just, obviously it's making you money, but if you can get what you feel like it's worth, then that's one less thing. Then that's, I guess, one step closer to actually being retired. And so if you could do that, is that something, that we would be able to help you out with? You think so? If we could get this property off your hands?
Sure.
Gotcha. And what is your asking price again? If we can get everything, if we can close, if we were interested in purchasing with the tenant attached to the property at their current rent rate, and we can pay all cash and we can close in the next 30 days, because we don't have to wait for the tenant to be out. What would you be willing to sell the property for?
Price $310.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the tenant knows that it could go for sale, and she would have to move out. So she knows that the right buyer came along, then I'd be selling it.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And so what I'll have to do is, like I mentioned, I do got to get this over to my underwriters just to see, but I want to get this over to get some feedback, and then I can give you a call back. But let me ask you this. If my team, if they come back and they say, hey, we're definitely interested in this property, we love the area, we can't do 310, but I don't think we're too far off. We're at let's say 285, 290. Can I give you a call back? Is that even worth the time calling you back, or what do you think?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go lower than 300. I mean, it's already, depending on how you run the numbers, its value is 360 to 320.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on how you run the numbers and who's wanting it. But
yeah,
I'm not looking to, basically, I guess what probably brings it down to 290 is the 6% interest that they want for closing costs and all that. I know that a lot of companies will just pay for everything. Because you got to buy it for 310, then you got to put in another, bulk of money for the closing and everything. That's how you guys just run it. But
right. Now that
you guys, and all the houses around it are 500,000 plus homes that came in. It's surrounded by awesome homes.
Right. No, absolutely. And that's something I always say, they usually let me know, but I'm pretty sure we would be able to go ahead and take care of it. And I can't guarantee that they'll come in. They may say that's a great price and we can go ahead and move forward. And I'm just assuming, like, if they do come off a little bit, I don't want to waste anyone's time. So I'll check with them and see. But to your point, yeah, for the most part, we are paying closing costs. We're taking care of the closing costs and fees. If everything works out. But like you said, at this point, at that price point, closing costs could be quite a bit of stretch. That's probably why they may be at like 290 or something like that. But nonetheless, I'll check with them and see. But can I like I said, I do want to get an official offer over to you once we get some feedback. Could you, what is your email address? So that way I can send it over to you once we get something.
Cordero the closer, man.
What I'll do is, as soon as I'm gonna get this over to my underwriting team. As soon as I get some feedback from them, I'll give you a call back, and we'll get you over something official. But I do want to know, man, when I call you back, I don't want to, I want to be able to get a hold of you. When is a good time I know you're retired, so I probably can reach you any time of day. But what's a good time?
You can call me anytime.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And this number I'm calling you on, the 615 number, it's my direct line. You can give me a call or text here anytime. And again, my name is Cordero. But I should be able to get some feedback from them very quickly, and I'll be able to give you a call back. But I really do appreciate it. And again, I do want to know, if we come back and we can get an official offer, is there anything that would stop us from going ahead and getting the process started immediately?
No, there's nothing that will stop the process.
Okay. Wonderful.
We're good to go.
Wonderful. Well, yep, I'll get with them and I'll get back with you, man. But thank you so much. And do you have any questions for me at this time, Brett?
No, we're good.
Okay, man. Thank you so much. And I'll be talking to you soon.
Awesome. Talk to you later.
Alrighty.
Man, Cordero putting in that work, man. Say confirm, man. Confirm.
Listen, I ain't closed nothing, but I will say if anybody was paying attention, what was the last number that he said? What was the last price that he said? Did he say 290 at the end when he was talking about the closing cost?
I don't know. I didn't catch him say 290. Did he say 290?
I think he said that. But even if he didn't say 290, he said, what was the last number that you heard him for sure say?
300.
All right. And what was the first number he said at the top of the call?
What was it? Like, it had to be at least like 320 or something like that.
It was like at least 320. It was like 330 or 320.
Yeah.
And I saw it like what I did, slowly busting them
down. And it was interesting the way that you got him to come down because you didn't ask for a reduction.
That's my favorite one.
You just said, hey, if I go to my underwriters and they come back and they say, 280, 285.
Yeah.
Should I even give you a call back or,
Yeah.
He just dropped his price.
Hey man,
that's not 20K off that statement. He came down 20K just based on that.
Hey, use that. If y'all on the phones, y'all use that one because that's one of my favorite ones because it's a passive way. Again, I like to position a call where I'm not dictating anything. I'm like, and it's just soft negotiation. I don't know what our buyers would say. I think we got some buyers in Florida. I didn't mean to call him. I forgot that I had some Florida leads in my CRM, but I think we got some buyers in Florida. We can find some buyers and see where they would be at, but I don't know what they'll say. But my point being is it was a passive one. I was just like, if they come back, should I worth every time? Now he was saying it would be 290 net to him after closing. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think so. I
didn't really hear that, but regardless, he came from like 220.
I know he was saying 300. You guys take care of all this. That'll bring it down. I couldn't remember him saying 290, but I know he was indicating that it basically was going to be lower than 300. Like,
hey man, he came to 300. He came from 320 to 300, but y'all use that as one of my favorite and that was more of a passive one because that's what you do on this initial call where it's just like you touch them and you're like, I go talk to my underwriters, which this would be when we go reach out to the buyers and just see where we were at. We will begin dispo. I was really trying to ask him the right questions to see, one, does he have any real motivation? And I'm doing my best not to, again, give him a motivation. I'm doing my best to ask him so he can tell me what the motivation is. We tend to want to do that. So, you probably really want to get rid of this tenant, don't you? And then what that's going to cause them to do is like, no, I could keep this tenant forever. It's like, dang. Because people naturally say the opposite of what you do. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, the reason why, like when they say the opposite, that's the reason why I don't say, hey, if we can get you what you're looking for, would you be willing to go ahead and get the process started today? I don't say that. I say, is there any reason why we couldn't get the process started? Or would you be against getting the process started today? I ask them a question that the right answer needs to be no, because they just like to say no. So if they be like, no, nothing, so it's like slightly mentally or psychologically, he's saying no, but he's also saying yes to getting the process started all in one go. But again, just asking him questions. He came from at least, I ain't get him down below 300, but most sellers, if they start at like 20, like if they say 320, that means he want 300. And the 3 number, he's going to be held at. It's like a bar. Like, I don't want to go below the 3. If I said 320, I won't go below 3. If I say 250, I won't go below 3.
He was breaking the 3.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And if he'd have broke, and that's why when I say if my team comes back and they
break that 3, all kind of junk gonna break loose.
I was like, I gotta make sure that I go below. I gotta break the 3 with this one. If we go 3, I really wanted to say 280, but I was like, and notice I intentionally gave him a range. I said 285, 290 because that's warming them up to the 280 number, but bringing them back to 290, and that's more reasonable to him. That's only 10K off of 3. But if I'd have just said 280, I promise y'all, he'd have been like, no, we can't. No, they don't even call me back. He'd have just shut that down so quick. But yeah, I mean, what you got? And then this is when I would say, Byron, what should we do with dispo? Byron, what would we do, or what would our dispo department do at this point? When I got a property, he's at 300, and I think there's a property that's sold right in the same neighborhood. That's why I was asking him if it was Cherokee Heights or Cedar Branch, and it's Cherokee Heights. One sold 29 days ago for 360, and it was smaller. It was a
Can you pull it up right there?
What'd you say?
Can you pull it up right there?
Click on that property. Yeah,
there it is. Yeah, you got it right there. 29 days ago.
360.
How many bands? Yes, it's smaller.
Small.
Only thing is brick.
His is partially brick, partially that panel. But here's another one though.
It look better, I would think.
This one sold same. Well, I guess it's the same. I think it's the same neighborhood, but 350 9 days ago. You know what I mean?
Same kind of look. That thing look nice though, boy.
And it look lived in. It doesn't look like a flip. It just look cleaned in a mug.
It look cleaner than a mug.
And what's going on right here? Oh, that's that. It's in Florida. You know what I mean? It's in Florida. Yeah. That's some water. But notice, catch what he said. I said, what about the roof? He said, oh, we put new panels on it. He ain't say he replaced the roof now.
Yeah.
That could mean that the roof could need some replacing soon in the future. But yeah, I mean, he talking 300, they selling 360 now. If you could get money for absolute, well, no, it just wouldn't make sense. Closing costs on a property this, would be too much. And I really realized I was just kind of showing y'all little tips and stuff. He ain't crazy motivated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Crazy motivated.
He's one of these, like, hey, if you actually had a buyer that was going to pay high, if you can find the most competitive cash offer for this dude, he probably gonna sell it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If we was at
he don't want to go through the process of showing and all that stuff, man. He won't sell.
Yeah. He probably won't. And if we could find, and again, this goes to, it's not even just, if we could find a buyer who'd be like, yeah, we'll keep his tenant. I didn't ask him about the rent rate. I was going to, but I was like, we found a buyer who was like, yeah, no, we'll keep his tenant intact and we'll pay, we'll probably be around 250. I go to him and be like, man, listen. Because he said he got it at auction. How much did he pay for this thing? He said he got it at
man, it looked like he paid like $8,000. I was pulling it up. I'm like, this can't be real, man.
No idea. He said he got it at an auction or something.
Dude,
this is what the man bought it for.
Yeah, on prop screen it was saying 8,000.
On here it said 8,000.
Dude, I'm like, ain't no way, dude.
He bought it for 8,000. I was about to ask him that. Dude bought it for 8,000, y'all. So we say, man, 250. If you wanted the top, you should have sold it 2 years ago.
Yeah, dude.
You see where the market's at, dog.
2 years ago. Woo. You've been showing up talking about something.
Nah, you ain't late, dog. Let's get another one. I'm trying to get another one, dog.
Yeah,
let's get
hey. While I'm talking, man, go ahead and go to the other channel and subscribe, man. There go the link right there. Or you can just probably put in DREI next door. Maybe it's a real new channel, so it might not pop up. But if you put that in, just go to YouTube, put / at the REI next door, man. Trying to create a new channel, man. I'm gonna post everything there. That's what we gonna end up being. So, we got 11 people on here. I should have 11 subscribers on the new channel at least. And then y'all gonna go share everything. So we gonna get even more people. So that's what we gonna end up at, man. Y'all go ahead and get over there. We trying to get this thing going, man. I done adjusted my camera setting to get a little bit clearer. Cordero about to buy him a new camera. I might need to get me one while I'm talking. And shoot, man, we're gonna get this thing going for y'all though, for sure.
My audio equipment, everything.
Yeah, man, we're gonna get this thing rolling for sure.
Let me call this. Hey, Byron, we're gonna have to show me how he is.
Appreciate it, man.
3665.
Appreciate it, bro.
How you got your contacts connected to your smartphone, so that way anything that's in your Podio, if you dial the number, just automatically pull up their name.
Yeah.
I ain't got that.
Oh yeah, it's irritating when they don't do that.
Hello, you reached 931-358-366.
Hey, them people that do that and they be like, "Hey, you have reached," and they don't tell you. They just tell you the number. They don't say, "Hey, you reached John Doe." They be like, "You've reached 931-123-45." Like, man, I hate when people do that because I don't know who it is.
Yeah,
but I get why they do that. I'm like, that's real clever. I think I might need to change my voicemail.
Nah, you trying to do something.
My personal, yeah.
You ain't trying to dodge people. You trying to catch people.
Yeah, speaking of which, man, for the first couple of years, I just called everybody from my real personal phone number.
Oh, Jonesboro. What are you talking about? Might have one I can call. Hey, I ain't as sweet as Cordero on the phone, but
hey, Byron get it done. He gets it done.
We about to give him a call, man. I ain't
show us all how to actually close somebody.
Nah, dude. There ain't gonna be no closing, but
show us all. He got to get off this phone with a contract, telling Laura, "Hey, Laura, can you send this over? That's what we need."
Man, I ain't nice as Cordero, but I'm gonna try to get this person call. I don't even know if Laura called him already or what.
We only count closings around here, dog. We only count contracts around this thing, man. Like this was the Closer Olympics. It's the Closer Olympics tryouts right here.
They asked for 225.
What's the Zestimate?
The Zestimate is 261. So I probably need to get them at 200 or something like that. Let me see what I can do.
The wireless customer you are calling is not available. Please try again later.
They playing
around, man. Playing around. Ain't picked up the phone.
They playing. I got somebody.
Let me see if Laura talked to him or not.
Hello?
Hey, sorry, I don't know if I have the right number. I was calling to speak to Sean.
Yes.
Hey, Sean, this is Cordero, man. I don't know if you remember. We spoke. This was a couple months ago about your property on Gip Manning.
Yeah, I'm not interested at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, you can try me back, but at the moment, I'm not interested.
Gotcha, man. No, I definitely understand. You think maybe I should touch bases with you before the end of this year's out?
Yeah, you can give it a shot.
Okay, absolutely, man. I appreciate it, Sean. Have a good one.
All right, bye.
Yeah. Hold on. Hey, John, just looked over in the comment section. John said, Byron the buyer.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, that might need to be, you might need another channel, man. Byron the buyer. He's flipping. Byron the buyer. I think that actually fits pretty well because the whole point is to get buyers first. But sometimes this is why you got to call enough people. People greatly, drastically underestimate how many follow up.
Yeah, dude. You got to call a bunch of people, man.
Sean. Now, but always leave your notes. Always leave your notes. Said call him back by the end of the year. I'm gonna call him back next month.
Did we call it, dude?
I'm gonna call him on Halloween.
Around say 291. What's the Zillow? I don't think these Zillow should be there. 291. You want 291 for your jump. Let's see. Sure, you got somebody else you're trying to call, man?
Always. I'm just looking at this one seller, just trying to see, because I remember she was in a particular situation, and we had to see, man. I'm just gonna call her. People ask a question that people ask me, especially when it comes to doing these follow-up calls, as opposed to being in the dialer. They say, how much, like, what do you look at before you call? Like, before you call a person, what information are you trying to see if they sold it? How much research do you do before you make the call, man?
Oh, somebody said that? Let me see.
No, people ask that often.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
And
hold on, somebody called from Clarksville. Let me see if they turn up.
Please leave your.
dang. But the answer to that question is shoot first, ask questions later. Just call. Like when you going through, like, let's say you got a couple of leads in your CRM and you got a follow-up to do. You might think, well, what was the last thing we talked about? And what were they asking? Let me get on Zillow to try to calculate my MAO and the ARV of the CCCs and the KPIs and the blah, blah, blah. Just call because for several reasons. One, I could have done all this calculation and that lady, she didn't even just answer the phone. We see how many people don't answer the phone. More people don't answer the phone than do. So if you give it a whole minute and a half, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes of every person you call, you got to give them 5 minutes of writing a 5-page essay before you make the call. They don't even answer the phone. Or they're like, I'm not even interested right now, man. I got some stuff going on. Call me back in a couple months. It's like you did all of that for no reason. Call, and then while the phone's ringing, that's enough time for you to get your do whatever you got to do. Check the Zillow, see if it's sold. Check the last conversation while it's dialing. That's all the time you need. That's all the time you need, because no matter what you study or try to put together before the call, if they don't answer the phone, it won't matter. If you don't actually get on the call with them, it won't matter. So, and normally I do double dial, but I'm not going to do this. But when people ask me, well, what all do you look up? How much research do you do before you call that person? Man, shoot first, ask questions later. Remember that. Just take this shot, man.
That was your boy Yao. Yao mean.
About the closing?
Yeah.
What did he say?
They just waiting on the buyer's lender or something like that. So
yeah. I think I done sold him a couple properties. Did you
Yeah.
talk to him? Ask him, see if he want to buy some property?
Oh shoot, nah, I ain't answering nothing about that.
He be buying. He's a buyer. He do a little bit of everything. I think he buy properties. He's an attorney. He got his own clothing company, and he's a chef. And he does.
Oh,
And he teaches a Pilates class on Tuesdays. I'm joking.
dude, wait, no, man, these people in Clarksville, man, they won't do everything.
Because Clarksville is just like its own like ecosystem. Follow up in a couple weeks. I haven't heard back. Man,
Ooh, we about need to hit this person right here.
no. I think this is another Florida person. But I think it's. I just want to call. Man, should I call Florida? Like, are we even going?
I mean, shoot, we'll try, but I got somebody in Fort Worth.
You want me to call him?
I don't know if you talked to him or not. Fernando?
I don't know, man. Call up Fernando the movie piano. I don't know if I called him.
It was in Fort Worth of Fernando.
Well, I'm gonna call, and I'm gonna also call Laura's people too. But nah, I don't know if Fernando.
Offer going to sell in the next 69 days.
Oh, I need to call this person. I got a person that I need to call right now.
What the heck, this dude?
Hold on, why are you looking up that Fernando? Let me call this dude. This is somebody Laura gave me earlier.
Okay, go ahead.
968.
I'm gonna call this person after you've done.
Call it Fernando the movie piano. I didn't answer. Hold on, I'm be confused about the time because they in a different y'all in a different time zone. Oh yeah. No, I said I'm right. His home is 3-story. Just did.
Or he should be.
No, this person is in Georgia.
Oh no, Georgia should be East.
EST. But no, it said after 3 p.m. I thought it said call at
that
3.
was Cornelius.
Yeah.
That was the one I called. I'm calling this person right here, though. Let me see what you're talking about.
Oh. Yeah. Hold on.
Hi, you reached the voicemail for Fernando Espinoza. Leave a message and I'll get back to you.
Dang. Nobody picking up for me.
What do you say, Carlos? Fernando?
Fernando. He was somebody he gonna sell with me. Trying to hit him up. Yeah, but that Cornelius seemed like it might be a show no deal. Need to text him.
You want me to text him?
Yeah, you're gonna with the call, text, call back.
You think it's gonna be a deal?
What if you ain't called twice, you ain't called at all.
You think this one's gonna be a deal? Well, you would know better than I do.
I mean, it's showing up hinting at a deal. Might be talking about something.
Hey, I'm just gonna assume everything talking about something until you're guilty until proven innocent. I'm gonna text Cornelius, or are you texting him?
Nah, you can go ahead and text him since you just called him.
Cornelius.
Hey, on your boy Gittleman, I think they said they could come up to 275.
Yeah, he's getting a call. Who's getting the call today? I'm gonna call him next.
Yeah, they said they can come up to 275. So I don't know. We're a little bit off, but we could squeeze a deal out of it.
Man, I've gotten a deal from being 30K off, 50K off.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know, to be that close, that's not nothing. That's
Yeah.
just a matter of persistence.
Yeah, for sure. You got somebody finna call?
Robert Gittleman.
Yeah. Julian Ghetto, man. But yeah, man, shoot, yeah. Shoot, yeah. You gotta call a lot of people, man. You just gotta stay at it. And this is what we do, just sitting there, just calling people back, calling people back, calling people back. You know, that's all we do. Just sitting there and reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, too, man, and also there's a smartphone, the calling system that we're using to call these people. It has a dialer as well that I use often, but for the sake of this, we just call it. But it allows you to kind of like run through them. Had to go grab my charger before the phone died mid conversation, which has happened to me several times before.
Oh yeah.
Never want that to happen though.
Dude, I had to hang up on the seller mid conversation.
You had to hang up on
Yeah.
like just some stuff was going on in the background or something.
Yeah. Sitting
Yeah.
at school. I was sitting in the classroom, and just gonna come over the intercom. They looking for somebody. And when they come over the intercom, you can hear it say, "Doop."
Yeah.
And so I just hung up, boom, hung up on them. Let them go ahead and say what they were gonna say, and then I called him back. He picked up.
Hey, I'm sorry about that, man. I don't know what
I don't
happened.
know what happened, man.
I would have just played. Yeah, no, I'm at my
Hey,
son's school.
man, I was closing people on the school phone, man. Hey, sellers say, man, yeah. Hey,
Black
so,
thing.
hey, sellers would be like, hey, that number's popping up as Paulding County High School. I'm like, man, people keep saying that. Oh man.
Hey, this is Robert Gittleman.
Hey, that just reminded me of back in the month.
We got to get Gittleman under contract for show. But shoot, tomorrow, man, I think we're gonna do a video, man, on like a deal deep dive on Thursdays, where we just go in on a deal, show them what we got it from, show them everything that happened with the seller, and then kind of bring them all the way through to show them how deals work. You know what I'm saying? Kind of deal deep dive. I think it'd be good for Thursdays. Just do deal deep dives.
Deep
Call
dive.
sellers. Do what that.
Deep dive Thursdays.
Deep dive Thursdays, man. Deep dive Thursdays. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. So, shoot, man, tomorrow we'll be going through a deal. I don't know. Might be a deal that I've done, a deal that Cordero done. Shoot,
Wholesale
man.
deal, flip deal.
Yeah, wholesale deal. We'll start with a wholesale deal. Let's do a wholesale deal that we did in Clarksville. What was that one we did in Clarksville? Oh, maybe the one we did in Hickson.
Yeah,
let's do the one we did. Oh, dude. Oh man, you ain't gonna want to miss it tomorrow, dude. You ain't gonna want to miss it tomorrow. So we gonna go through the whole story about
that's
how
crazy. That's crazy from start to finish.
Yeah.
Man.
What did we make though? We make 12K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. That was just a crazy one from
We
start.
made 12K off a wrong number.
That's gonna be the title tomorrow, just so you know, man.
12K off of a wrong number. Yeah, 12K off texting the wrong number. And man, it's crazy, man. So we gonna hit that tomorrow for sure. But shoot, man, we finna let y'all roll out of here. Don't forget, people who came through, man. I only got, I think, 2 subscribers on the new channel, man. We're gonna be over there. That's what we're gonna be. Cordero gonna head over there and subscribe. Rolex, go on over there and subscribe. Stack, go ahead over there and subscribe. John Doe, go ahead over there, hit the link. Go ahead and go subscribe, man. I got Norman and did it. John Doe, go subscribe. You know Anita gonna be there. I ain't gotta worry about that for sure.
Shout out to Anita.
Shout out to Anita, man.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, man. Launch control.
Cordero the Casanova on the phone, man. Maybe that's what you mean, Cordero the Casanova.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna lock somebody up on one of these lives. That's what I want to do. We only count contracts, signed contracts around this.
Hey.
Coffee is for closers.
Mika, go over there and subscribe, man, to the new channel. Y'all go hit it up for sure. But yeah, man, like shoot, man, I ain't never been as sweet as Cordero on the phone, man. But I got some people to sign some contracts.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I think the only reason I did because I was just always there. You know what I'm saying? And it
because it don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter because if you think about it, dude, if you sign up for internet and you get like you got AT&T internet, was that guy like Casanova, whoever you was talking to? Hey, hook this up and put this up. It was just a regular person just talking. But to Byron's point, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be smooth on the phones. I closed people before I was kind of good, kind of decent, but it's the consistency.
Even though it does help. It does help.
It just, it does help because even people that be mad or would just hang, like even the bad calls, don't be bad like that no more. Like even cold call, like
I think like Cordero will probably get people under contract that he probably shouldn't. I was just steaming through so many people. You know what I'm saying? It's like
what's more important, quantity over quality in the beginning. And the more you do it, then that creates the quality. Because real talk, man, that's what I was doing, was just going, messing up for so many. As soon as I figured out about that dialer, dude, I was like, what? How many of y'all have spent 4 hours a day in the dialer for years? For years. So you do that for like for a long time, 5 days a week. For years, you'll be able to talk to people. But even before I did this, I was talking to people on the phones at my at my 9 to 5, and it was just talking on the phones. But I was trying to get good at it. But my point is, even before you good, it's about that quantity. Quantity is the most important thing at the outset. Even if you had the perfect quality, then quality and quantity is obviously going to beat out just quality or just quantity. Mindset for sure. I said mindset over skill set, period. We know that. We know that you ain't got to come out. You ain't got to be born. Michael Jordan wasn't even born.
You got to be Cordero on the phone.
If you call more people than me today, you beat me. Period.
Hey, the day goes to who takes the most action, man. Against all odds, man. Against the fact that you don't think that you know how to talk. It's like you don't like, dude. It got to the point where I wasn't thinking about, do I know how to talk or not? It's like you get to the point where it's like I'm not thinking about, do I know how to do this? It's like it got to get
about. He's thinking about, well, every 20 people I call, I get a contract. So let me call 60 people today, so I'll get 3 contracts. That's what you start thinking about. That's what I was thinking about too. I wasn't thinking about, man, I'm smooth on the phone. I'm thinking about every X amount of people I cold call, I get X amount of leads. Every X amount of leads, I get this many contracts. Every this many contracts, we close this many deals, and that's all that's business. You know what I mean? And your business can't rely on how your skill set. If it's only relied on your skill set, you don't have a business. You just have a hustle. You got to hustle at that point. A business is granular. Business is about the numbers and the volume and creating this funnel and a system and all of that anyway. So it's not just about sounding good on the phone. Although you keep listening to us, we'll get you some tips and techniques that you can use and begin to implement. That'll really help you get cussed out a lot less. I can tell you that much. You'll get cussed out a whole lot less.
You're stupid, man.
Hey, I got all the cussings for y'all. I done got cussed out, boy. I done been cussed out so many times just for just saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. Silly. I remember I had a job in New Hampshire. When I lived in New Hampshire, I said, ma'am, she came in mad. She threw the tablet on the desk and was just like, y'all sold me this trash tablet, blah, blah. I said, ma'am, I'm sorry about that. And before I could even finish, she said, ma'am, she said, do I look old? She called me the B word. She done cussed me out. She done called me every cuss word in the book. I think I was like 19 at the time. And I was just like, you know what? This is for the future. I'm doing this so I can teach people what not to say and when not to say it. And that was an example outside of real estate, just so you know. You probably got some of y'all work at a 9 to 5, and y'all can put on y'all work voice. Y'all know.
Yeah, that was another thing. Like, I had spent so much time talking to parents, and all that stuff. It's like, dude, I talked to enough parents and enough kids to be able to get on the phone with sellers and be able to just go. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be talking about something.
Yeah, man. You know what? And that brings me to a point, because I was thinking about this like last night. When we was talking yesterday, you was talking about how the time you spent as a teacher didn't matter, but it did though. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying it didn't.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it did. Like it wasn't like, oh, I could never be what I really wanted to be because I spent all this time just being a regular old teacher.
Yeah, like that didn't define me.
Yeah, it doesn't define you. That's what I'm saying. It's like the time that I spent as a teacher doesn't make me, not be able to be something else. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't let what you're doing now define you.
But you might think, oh man, I spent all of that. Or the guy, I forgot who it was that was in the military.
Norman.
Yeah, Norman was in the military. You might think not even probably. I know for a fact, your time in the military, there is a lot that you learned that you're going to be able to implement that's going to lend to your success in this business the more you get started. I promise you that. And my guy did. In the military, being in the pen, like, there's got to be something about that experience that there's going to be a lot that you're going to want to just throw away, but there's going to be a lot that you get to keep, and that's going to help you. Maybe it's the consistency, whatever it is. You know more than I will, and time will reveal to you. But I just think about that because I was thinking, man, there was so much about like my past life, like working a 9 to 5, that I didn't realize it was shaping my skill set to be able to translate over into this business well. So don't think about what you've been through as like the limitations of where you can go. Think about that as that was the setup for what you're about to do now.
Oh, it was set up for the come up, baby.
That was a setup for whoever was 10 years driving trucks, 10, 11 years driving trucks. That's going to set you up. Something about that experience taught you something that you're going to be able to do here. That's going to be like, man, this is a piece of cake. People be like, man, how you talk to people, bro? I was talking to people before this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know how many kids? You know how many kids I taught in the classroom? You know what I'm saying?
When you talk, bro, that's
thousands of kids, man. You know how many difficult kids I've had in the classroom? So you know how many different personalities I ran into? Crazy. Dude. Like I'm teaching hundreds of kids at one time. Like I could be teaching 150 kids in one day. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with those people over time, you know, man, you're dealing with so many different people, different personalities, trying to make 30 people get on the same page and be, you know what I'm saying? So, and coaches just like having to get everybody on the same page. That's why I'm good at getting sellers on the same page, buyers on the same page with the title company. That's how I'm good with getting a whole team of people on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Putting stuff together. It's like when I was teaching, we did the test first. Make the test first. You make the test first, then you make the study guide. You make the study guide, then you make the activities. You know what I'm saying? You go backwards. You go from the activities and you look, okay, what's the key words in the activities that the kid gonna need to know? And that same thing I did. That's why reverse wholesaling made so much sense to me. It was like, okay, get the buyers first. Okay, then figure out what the buyers want. And you know what I'm saying? Work the deal backwards. Like, that's why I felt so comfortable with working the deal backwards. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's kind of what that's kind of where that mindset of working the deal backwards came from. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was just saying, y'all don't discount what y'all been through as, or think about it as, well, this has just been what it always is. This must mean that this is it. It could just be set up, whether it was 12 years in your past career or 17 years in prison or whatever much time it was. It's just like, whatever. Never forget about KFC. You ever had a piece of chicken from KFC, dude?
You are stupid.
Look, because that story is so profound. Did you always know that Colonel Sanders was like 70 when he created that, or 80 or something like that?
I mean, I don't know if I always knew, but I knew when I was young, and just because my mama and brother worked at KFC.
I worked at KFC too. That was one of my first jobs was KFC.
Dude, mama brought home that KFC, man. You couldn't tell us nothing, dude. That was the best stuff we ever ate. Like, dude, we went eating at no places. You know what I'm saying? She brought that KFC home. Oh my god, dude, we was on top of the world. That was the only time that was the only time we was gonna eat out, dude. She brought that, man. Oh man,
I'm telling you, everybody know it's always two managers at your job. It's one manager you can't do nothing around, and there's that other manager. It's like, bro, we taking this food home. We ain't throwing nothing away.
Dude,
we taking this food home.
We got 9 kids at the house. You think she's throwing something away, man?
That's sin, dude.
Dude, you think she would throw something away? But dude, I'm telling you, man. Dude, I'm telling you, you would have thought I had the best restaurant in America. I ain't tasting nothing close. It's like, dude, literally, that may have been the first restaurant I ever ate for a long time.
That is crazy,
dude. You think this is a joke, man?
I believe you, dude.
Dude, this stuff is real life, man.
Man.
Dude,
I believe you, and you know what? It's a crazy thing to experience that, but to actually work there, dude, and that might be the only meal you're gonna get that day, bro. You ever worked at a restaurant, like a food place?
Yeah, I worked at my first job was at Captain D's.
Bro, tell me the food. Tell me you don't make your custom everything, bro. The food. That was my favorite job, working at KFC. That was my favorite job.
Well, I don't work at Zaxby's, dude.
I worked at
how many tenders I take home at the end of the night. 40 tenders. 30 wings.
I never got tired of it too.
Oh man.
Like you get tired of it.
Fries, 20 boneless wings. And about 10 of those chicken breasts, man. hey, you be sitting at the end of the night, man. You like, hey, man, I'm finna take the trash out. Put that stuff inside of the plates. Put it in a clean trash bag. Put the plates in a clean trash bag.
Oh, you was moving like that. You was moving like that, boy. I'm gonna go out to the
take the trash out. Take the trash out.
Yeah.
The other bag go into the car though.
You moving like that, bro.
Man, I be eating for days up in
Where you going with that? Where you going? What you doing with that? Man, dude. Man.
I used to they had these Southern style shrimp. Somebody came to order 15, I'm dropping 30. I'm eating the other 15.
Where? Bro, dude. Hey, and then look, y'all probably know this, but the cooks had it better. Like the cooks always had it better. I was working in front, working with face to face with the customers, and that was kind of the start of my experience talking to people, because you get cussed out. And KFC had this thing where they had a senior citizens day, where the senior citizens got a crazy discount. I'm talking, he came in there with $100 bill and 1 penny. His order was like $29.35 or some just odd number. He gave me $100 bill and 1 penny. And he mad at him because the way I gave his change back. He wanted his change back in a specific way. That's why he gave me the penny to offset something or whatever. And I gave him the change back how it just naturally felt to me. And he was just like, you're I'm like, but it taught me to deal with people. And also one thing that I learned working at KFC that I never got rid of was if you know somebody coming in, because you know how some people come in and they be like, how much does the number 5 cost? I'm like, well, it costs this. Well, how much does that cost with tax if I add this, whatever? They come in like that. And then it's a guy that he come in with his whole family. Maybe even they just got left a soccer game, all the other soccer players. He'd be like, give me 10 number 10s and 5 number 4s and this and that and put it on the card. That guy, I'd be like, whoa. You know what I mean? I'll be like, sir, what do you do while the kids is jumping, they getting their seat or whatever? I'm like, sir, what do you do for a living? Like, what do you know? And I did that all the time. You know that the TikTok video where a dude will run up to people and they got a nice car, be like, sir, what do you do for a living? You know what I mean? Because they cars like they driving a Maserati or a Bugatti or something like that. And I started doing that way back then, and that gives you like a general consensus of what is going on. And that's when I learned, man, I want to go into business. Because the most of those people, they were like, oh, I run my own business. I got my own company. Some of those people were like working a job, but it was rare that they had like their job. Most of those people own their own business. And so that way that they could it wasn't nothing about buying a whole lot of stuff. It was just a simple fact that their decisions wasn't tied to how much money they had. They just, if this is what we need or want, this is what we buy. That's it. And I was always raised like my mom would pull up to the store, like we go to McDonald's, she even order it based upon how much it costs. She'd be like, can I get the $1 burger and the $1 fries?
Hey, call out the price. You better, man.
The price. I need the $2.
The chicken, man. Give me that $2 chicken box, man. Hey,
exactly.
Man, they're gonna give you the $6 chicken box.
Bro, that's like, and I was just like, you know what? I don't want to live like that. I just want to be able to go there and pay.
I want a $1 double cheeseburger, the $1 fry, and the $1 chicken sandwich.
Don't let it be anything else, boy. It will be a price.
Hey, I don't want $1.19. I don't want $1.25.
Yeah, because they mess around and give you the one with the extra piece of cheese on it or something like that.
Don't give me that.
No, that's not what I meant. I said $1.
When McDonald's went to $1.19, I stopped going.
You put up a strike, boy. You would boycott that thing. No more.
I said, man, this ain't no $1 no more. Man, I rolled away. It's
been a minute since I went to McDonald's, but I heard that they burgers was like they value being like $4. Like, I don't know. It's been a minute since I've been to McDonald's, but I heard they like
McDonald's in forever, man.
Man,
like I'm about like you say now, like dude, I ain't messing with nobody, none of that little stuff. Nah, man, I gotta go where it's done right. So.
Yeah, this is y'all know Byron's rich, so he gotta go.
No.
He get all his food catered for him on a daily basis. He's got he got her
man,
own.
I'm gonna go ahead and cook and eat right now, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to jump out this mug, man. Go get this stuff for these kids. To be honest with you, but man, it was good today, man. Doing these live calls. We're gonna jump back on here tomorrow, man. Show y'all how we get deals done. You know, talk about the deal. Maybe we'll talk about that deal. Yeah. And then next week we'll talk about the deal that we actually closed. So yeah, that's what we'll do, man. But shoot, man, appreciate y'all coming through. Go subscribe to the new channel, man. Put the link up here. So make sure you go do that. That's what we're gonna end up being, man, against all odds. So man, let's go. We'll see y'all later, man. Thank y'all for showing up. Peace out.
Shout out to everybody.
For sure.